Hi, I'm Krissy, and have coffee with me while we talk about entity attachments. So, entity attachments are an interesting little bag that we have because we have to remember throughout this whole video, I need you to remember the concept of as above, so below. When we experience entity attachments, which they are real, yes, I'm not saying they're not, they tend to come from a place of unhealed energy within ourself. We have holes within our auric field. We have patterns that are unhealthy and need to be cleared, whether that's, call it misbehavior in the bedroom or outside of your bedroom, whether it's maybe challenges with food, with alcohol, these different vices. Maybe it's people pleasing, right? These energies are attracted to that. They come and it's kind of like a calling card, right? When you start to exhibit these characteristics, it's like a calling card for the universe to come in. Oh, hey, she's got this thing that she's, not neglecting. Let's highlight it. This is a higher perspective to hold when we're looking at these things. Now, we also have to remember there's a second round in this of attraction for people who are waking up, who are sensitive to energy, and who are bright lights. When we are working through this evolution of humanity, working towards clearing out the astral plane to kind of consolidate everything back up to source, we have to go through this process of shedding and then remembering, recollecting all of these parts of self. So when we are experiencing this release within the astral field, maybe it's of our own energetics, maybe it's of the energetics of a loved one, maybe it's the energetics of what we call a quote unquote demon, which, we can get into another time, but that's collective egregores. We are attracting these different things within our energy field. And as we are waking up to what's happening around us and becoming more sensitive, we become targets to kind of keep the energy down. Progress will always happen. You cannot stop progress. You cannot stop evolution and ascension. It is happening regardless. You can slow it down a little bit, or as I like to think, you can push it along a little bit faster. As we become more aware of these energies that are lurking, we then become more empowered to take matters into our own hands, to control what is happening to ourselves, to control our experience through allowing the energy of our higher self to flow through allowing our connection to God, source, to become amplified, to become part of who we are. So these energies are not necessarily to completely derail you or to cause harm to you, although some will try to, manipulate your energy. They are trying to get you back to source. Everything is at the end of the day. That is from a higher perspective. It can be hard to deal with that and to hold that in your mind when you're working through these energies. And some of them can be heavy, some of them can be challenging, some of them can be dark, right? Because it's attracted to parts of your shadow that you haven't healed yet, parts of your karmic patterning that haven't really been cleared. So you need to move through that in order to really be able to clear this entity. The interesting thing that I see come up when I am working energetically with people who have entity attachments is that they tend to be almost a collective representation of an amplified energy within their chakra system that is out of balance, right? We send to we go back to then the typical idea of the demons, the lust demon, the sloth, like the seven deadly sins, right? And we have these energies that are then collecting within a person. And then you magnetize other ego shells that are left in the astral plane to you. you become a magnet for more of it. This is where, when we're talking about magnetizing different things into our reality, aligning and manifesting, we are magnetizing these energies. So if you are slothful, if you are lustful, you're going to attract more lustful energy. These things are not happening within a vacuum, right? Your mind, your thoughts, your awareness of the things that are coming through your mind are becoming wrapped into this experience that you're having. You're not in a vacuum, and everything is playing, it's playback. We receive feedback and playback as we are going through the day. So, where you are choosing to put your energy and focus, it's going to continue to amplify that within you. Now, if these things get left unchecked, they can create extreme imbalances within the body, energies, right, that are stuck on us, that are being amplified so that we finally look at it. They want you to look at it. They want you to find the thing that is really harming you and keeping you from stepping into your true power. They really want you to find that. So you're going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until you finally choose to help yourself. Now, what does helping yourself look like when you have an entity attachment? Well, it can look like going to an energy healer. So I work with transference healing, which is a seventh dimensional frequency that removes entity attachments. I also do that energetically while I'm channeling as well and doing light language. Many healers are capable of doing this, but you can only get the entity removed at the equal level of where the healer or practitioner is at, right? So if you are holding some massive, wild archon energy on you, you can't go to someone who's just brand new to it to have them remove it because they won't be equipped enough with their own energetic exchange to be able to remove it and clear everything. So finding a person that you feel called to is very important. This is also where sometimes people might not see entity attachments because they just can't. They're not at the level to be able to see what is on you and what is in your programming and what you are working with right now. So going to a practitioner can be very helpful. Can you do it yourself? Absolutely, but it's a lot more, uh, you have to be more dedicated, right? You have to be dedicated to doing it. You can do a ritual, you can do burning ceremony, Olympia. There's so many things that you can do to help yourself get out of these attachments, to remove them. Salt baths, crystals, doing a real ritual that can cleanse you can also do this as well. I prefer energetic work because that's how I've been trained and that's how I work the best. But all of these other methods can help to amplify it. You're going to have to find a practitioner who can help you with ritual if that's something you're interested in. Now, you can remove as many as you want. If you're not going to make the changes to your etheric patterning, to your patterning in this reality too, your habits, your vices, clearing out the shadow, integrating the shadow, clearing your auric field, keeping the holes, solid. Like, don't let more auric holes in, right? Alcohol, for instance, wrecks your aura and it can create more holes within your field that entities can kind of come in, these energies can come into. So if you're not going to make the changes within your life to fix that, to clear your own field, you're going to keep getting these things coming back, coming back, coming back, because you're an easy target. Yeah, it's like, oh, we've done this, and they're coming back to do you a service, so that you finally make the decision to shape up, right? That's what they want from you. They want you to shape up. They want you to elevate, even though they say they don't. Everything, light and the dark, work together to get you to the top. We are all ascending back to source. We are all moving our way back home to source, back to the origin point. So even these entity attachments are like that don't want to go from where they are, they're still in the process of evolving as well. You can't stop the train, right? We can't stop the train anymore. We're moving forward. So we've talked about what entity attachments are. We've talked about how you can remove them. And now let's talk about how these can present themselves to you. So entity attachments can present as extremely negative emotions. They are amplifying emotional state that you are not processing. Now, you could have somebody who is overeating excessively because in some past life, an entity attachment that they have now died from starvation. And, now they're here and they're latching onto you and you keep eating, 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 eating. Okay, that's one thing. Many times they are attracted to you for a particular reason. Maybe it's because you were always eating, eating, eating because you have this underlying issue of comfort for food. When you're feeling emotional stress, you go and you overeat or you restrict, right? So if you don't heal that underlying pattern of stress eating, you are likely to have another energy come on board, be like to egg you on every time there's a bag of chips around. This is collective energy that amplifies your feelings. Other ways that it can present itself is lethargy. Oh my gosh, these energies are heavy. And as you are elevating in consciousness, you are becoming more aware of how things make you feel. So you might feel sluggish, listless, heavy. You could feel depressed. You could literally feel tightness within whatever chakra that it's attached to. You can feel sometimes almost like a switch will flip and you will become a different person. Now, it is amplified by the energy or entity that is holding on to your energy for dear life because they love it. It's shiny and bright and it tastes so good. But it's really your ill in you that needs to be seen. When you've removed the game and you've decided to see for yourself that all of this is just a reflection back to you, when you've cleared that underlying root cause of the emotional response that is represented by, playing in a vice, when you've removed that from you, you are no fun. You're not fun anymore to them. They're just going to move on. They're not going to become attracted to you because it's not who you are anymore. But if you continue in the pattern, they're going to keep showing up. These energies are going to keep showing up. Now, personally, I don't like to tell people when I see entity attachments on them. Why? Because I think it's detrimental. I think it can create more fear than anything else. This is where talking about highlighting the energies that are on them and how to move through them can be more valuable than pointing out that they have something big and scary attached to them. I clear it, we talk through it, and I mention how this energy is going to keep showing up for you unless you move through this, and then we move on. Because many people who are still stuck in third dimensional consciousness can't understand or balance this idea. They still live in fear. I understand because I lived in fear forever. I had constant experiences with these energies and it was terrifying. And I just drank and drank and drank to stop it, right? I chose to self-medicate in the way that I could and just hide from it. And until I couldn't anymore, right? And so we all have to remember that if we are a practitioner dealing with people, saying you got a demon attached to you could be really detrimental for them. But saying you are attracting energy to you that is amplifying these feelings and creating this pattern amplification system within you, I think that you should work through this on your own as well. I will energetically support you, but you need to make these that is more powerful than inciting more fear within somebody to send them into a spiral of I have to protect myself from everything and da 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 da. When you start to anchor your higher self energy in, when you start to clear these old patterns, when you start to step into your higher path, when you start to allow God and source to flow through you more freely, like less impeded by your own egoic wants and needs and desires, you begin to clear. It becomes a chicken or the egg thing. We don't know anymore at a certain point. It's just you're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And sometimes you might go down a little bit when you're clearing more of these larger feelings, these heavier things from your system, from your patterning. But you're going to keep moving up. Energy moves up. We're progressing back to source. So that's important to remember. But all of this to say is entity attachments are energies that are attracted to the shadowy aspects of yourself that you have not healed or integrated. These attachments and energies are forcing you to look at them, making you get to the point where you can't deny it anymore. This is going to happen more and more rapidly as all of humanity is being pushed into this ascension process, into this great awakening that we are in right now. So we are going to start, people are going to start seeing things too. Like you might be walking down the street and see like someone's gargoyle hanging on their back. Like it's there for a reason. It was there to protect them at a certain point, but now they don't need it anymore. So there's moving things, moving parts for everybody that they have to come to a certain level of awareness too in order to be able to move through them. All this is to say, you are source. You are a divine being of light. You have got this, right? Um, if you feel like you have an entity attachment, I'm happy to help. I do channeled readings. I do, again, transference healing sessions, quantum healing, hypnosis therapy, which clears everything and reboots you and helps you to subconsciously rewire and reprogram what's going on within your system so that way you don't repeat these patterns anymore. These can all be beautiful ways to keep your system clear and anchoring in your higher self energy more, telling yourself every day, I am my higher self. Every day, throughout the day, move in that energy and you become a clear channel for you. You no longer attract these other energies. So, my friends, remember, don't let entity attachments scare you too much. They're annoying. They're frustrating. Sometimes they're a little malevolent. But most of the time, they're there for you to see, to consciously make a change within your programming, within your patterning, so that you can truly be your true self, your higher self. Remember, you got this. I love you.